Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Um, Tonight we're going to talk about Mr. Ryan Clark and this whole episode with him getting fired from ESPN. I'm just not understanding. So we're going to watch this. He was on his own podcast. He was a guest on his own podcast, the Pivot Podcast, and they did an interview of him detailing the whole situation about him being fired from ESPN. And so it's been a big conversation on the internet. I don't see why it should have been a big conversation. ESPN normally does this, fire people. I don't know what made Ryan Clark feel so entitled. But it's very interesting to listen to him. He's the embodiment of this woke culture that ESPN is moving away from. And I mean, just entitled, to somebody else's stuff. And if, it got this attitude that, hey, listen, I picked 200 rows of cotton for you last year, and we had some award-winning cotton, and you can't fire me because the job that you paid me to do, I did it well. So you're not allowed to fire me. So let's listen to Ryan Clark in his interview with Fred Taylor and Shannon Fry, I think the other gentleman's name is. And tell me, let's tell you what, let's do this.
If I could have been different in some ways, probably. You asked me on the right day. Yeah, I would say I have some regrets.
Sacrifice ain't cheap, man.
The thing I just told you I loved comes at a price.
Yep.
I love them both. I loved my job.
We know.
I love talking football, and I love my community.
All right, and that's the gist of what I think he was trying to get across today, is that he didn't sell out. So let's break down what he's saying, because I've already listened to this. I found what he said to be some of it to be very contradictory. Okay, and I'll point it out as we go through this. Let's go. Try to hurry up so I don't get flagged so much for this. Skip through.
What happens from now is like the rest of the story, but I think the moment would be this moment.
You good? I don't know. I joke about it, but you know what I'm saying. It's a serious situation.
I think I'm definitely okay, but I feel for the other people who are going through this with me. Carl Ravitch been there 33 years. Charles Davis, one of the best men in the business, along with best analyst. Bart Scott, Cam Newton, Tom Pelissero, and like countless other behind the scenes people. And you think, what I learned about ESPN is so many people who worked there grew up close to ESPN. So they grew up with a dream of being there and being able to work behind the scenes and create these stories and tell this story. And now their job is gone, right? What I'm dealing with is, in truth, a first world problem. But there's some people who are truly counting on what ESPN was going to do for them to feed their family. And
that's a considerate point. And that's what I'm saying. He kind of goes in and out with that. You know what I mean? He makes some great points, and then he says some really, really ridiculous things. But here we go.
So my thoughts and my prayers are with them as well.
I think the big question is, did you see it coming? Could you take us inside that moment?
Yes and no. I'm upset with myself from this perspective. There were signs, but I truly thought for the first time in my life, I worked so hard at something. I was so good at something. Everybody acknowledged that I was, that they couldn't fire me, that they wouldn't.
All right, so that's the contradictions start there. He's saying that, you know, he worked so hard. I mean, think about that. Think about yourself at your own job. If you're just going to work, doing your job, coming home, you're not causing any problems at job, at work. Again, you're producing for the company, and everything's going good. But then you saw signs of them getting rid of you, even though you were the best. Maybe you're not. Let's go.
Fire me. That a company who's going to have the Super Bowl this year, who truly wants to put their best foot forward to the entire world and have the best people talking about football, wouldn't fire, in my opinion, this is my opinion, and it seems to be the opinion of many others, the best football analyst in the world. I didn't think that, and that's my fault. You know, this offseason, I repeat so.
That's completely arrogant on his behalf, and he said he didn't think that they would fire the number one football analyst in the world. Well, obviously, he found that to be not true. So, you know, again, so now we start here with the self-proclaimed number one sports analyst in the world.
Monday Night Football with Greg Brooks won an award, a diversity award. And our showrunner and our director and our producer were so excited, and there was like, PR is going to post it. And it never happened. And eventually I just posted it myself, and then PR reached out like, oh, I'm so sorry that we missed it, but the Emmys are coming up and we'll post it afterwards. And I just remember sending a text to one of the people I work with, and I said, they're not going to post that. They don't care. A company that posts about, you know, cool things like spelling bees and post about the family feuds and all of these things, didn't care about an actual segment on our show about a young man like Greg. Didn't care about that enough because of me to use it.
Was that ever addressed?
No, it was never addressed. Family Feud. They have an NFL Live Family Feud, a show that I've been a part of, that I won a sports Emmy for being a part of, that's won 2 Emmys in a row because of the core of Laura Rutledge, Marcus Spears, Dan Orlowski, Mina Kimes, and Ryan Clark. You go do Family Feud, and Marcus and I aren't there, but Marcus was asked. And when I reached out to the people who were involved, they just said, one said, we never asked for you. Another said, these 2 people were already on Pat's show, and that's why you and Marcus weren't on. But Marcus was asked, I wasn't. So there were just signs throughout the season, like even now, if you look at everything for the Super Bowl year, I'm not on any of that. A guy that's supposed to be a part of Monday Night Football, a man that's supposed to be a part of NFL Live, a man that's a huge part of First Take, was a part of.
What did the executives think? What did the bosses think? Again, this is somebody's network, and the numbers that he's talking about, you know, I think Ryan Clark is very bad at reading rooms. I think he's good at reading rooms. I think he's good at reading rooms. I think he's just bad at overplaying his hand.
Building get up. So to me, the signs were always there. And I called, man.
Yeah.
I called executives. I called decision makers. I called bosses. Is my schedule changing? What's it look like? And it was never a definitive answer. But I think it was never a definitive answer because this was always the plan.
Yeah. And you're not a shy dude. Like you said, I know you ain't just sitting in the shadows with your head down. You're going to address situations. But if it's not performance based, what's it based off of?
Well, to address the head down thing, what makes me a little bit sad about myself is I did adjust who I was to try to keep my job.
So you did try to sell out. I did adjust who I was to try and keep my job. Somebody that's constantly preaching about being authentically. I mean, you can't be both. You can't be both.
I did have meetings with people and say, okay, what is it that you need from me? Not the analyst. The analyst was damn good, right? If you care about the person that's on TV, what is it you need from me? Because I want to do that. I want to build a relationship. I want to involve you in the things I'm doing. You know, man, like this show, for 3 years, bro, we never shied away from any topic. Right. We never shied away.
So he just said he had conversations with executives, and he was asking them, what is it that they want from him? They wanted him to talk football, obviously, because that's what they hired him to do. So, no, I don't think it was a surprise to him, because I'm sure, just as vocal as he is, those his bosses, are just as vocal. Maybe he just wasn't listening.
Away from tackling anything we did this year, because I knew I couldn't have no beef. I knew I couldn't respond to disrespect, right? I knew, for lack of a better word,
He couldn't have no beef. He couldn't respond to disrespect. Why? What was wrong with that? That was authentically you. It wasn't selling. That was the problem. It wasn't selling.
I couldn't be too black.
Whoa, you couldn't be too black. I want to know what that means.
What makes me sad is, even in trying to adjust to be at least more of what certain people wanted, they still fight.
Even though he sold out, certain people they still fired him. You know what's really coward about this? Who are the certain people? Who are the certain people that just wanted him fired?
Me. And so I think that is difficult. I think it's about some of who I am, and it's about certain executives not connecting to that, not supporting that, not wanting to champion that, not wanting to give that the vast platform that is ESPN. And I think they utilized it to make an example of me.
So you get on there and you wanted to do what you wanted to do. You wanted to talk about what you wanted to talk about, and they went the other way. I don't see what the issue is. And again, he's going to acknowledge this in a little bit. Here we go.
But I see you call some people to figure out what you can do. Did anybody give you a heads up?
Yeah, I gotten some heads up. I mean, summer ago, Stephen A. sat with me, took me to lunch.
And probably told him, hey, Ryan, listen, I got what you're doing. Boom, boom, boom. Listen, you are a great football analyst. You probably need to stick to that. That's what's going to keep you around here. You know what I mean? Whenever they start to make these different shifts and the Super Bowl is supposed to be coming. If he's his man, like he said he was, I'm sure he told him this. I don't think Ryan listened.
In Los Angeles. And he told me, he said, there's a particular executive that doesn't like you. No, let me be honest. I've been hearing this for years, right?
Again, there's a particular executive. Who? What's the person's name? Why even bring it up if you ain't going to bring up the person's name?
It gotten to me so many times. And so having that.
Why? Why didn't the person like you? What were you doing that this executive had this personal vendetta against you?
Dinner or that lunch with Stephen A. was just confirmation of it. He's like, you need to go set a meeting. But so many times when I heard about this particular person, it was, he doesn't like you.
So many times he heard about this. All over the place with it, Ryan.
Or he's said this negatively. So I'd heard it a ton of times. And I got a call this offseason from someone within the building. And, they said the way I stand up for our community is commendable, right? That they respected that in my position, I had a passion for that. But they also said it had created enemies for me at the exec.
Created. So you're saying that those people did not like you standing up for the black community? You're being vague when he says the community. Like, created enemies for me at the executive level because he is authentically black, is what he's saying. Now, keep in mind, he said he tried to sell out. He tried to adjust, but he didn't adjust enough, I guess. Let's see what he says.
Level. It had created opposition, and that there were people within that building that were going to stand on the table for me. And it was such a shock because I thought to myself, in the most important year in ESPN football, you guys stand on the table for me? Like for me? Like there's somebody that needs to be convinced that.
So what Ryan Clark is not aware of is the shift that's happening in America. Corporations are going away from this woke agenda. You hear people crying about the DEI hires and this and that, and he's just not. I don't know if he's being honest here or not because he's saying a lot. He's saying a lot. But I think at a point he thought he was going to hijack these people with this black thing. You know, we'll get Ben Crump them to come in and we'll force these Jews to give us more money. I think this is not going to play well over the next couple of years. It's just me personally listening to him right now.
Our NFL coverage is elevated when I'm on TV. Like there's a person that knows football. There's a person that knows TV that thinks that 13 years in the NFL, Super Bowl, Pro Bowler, a captain, experience from being an undrafted free agent to trying to make the team to being one of the leaders.
Boss, I plant corn, watermelon, tobacco, cotton. I can do it all, boss.
In the locker room, 12 years of doing this, you got to come. It's that person that I should be doing TV. And, you know, what I learned was it wasn't about who I was in front of the camera as it pertained to football. It was about what I represented every time I got in front of that camera. And that is something that I don't believe you truly can come back.
When it's all said and done, that's the least anyone can do. I mean, you stand up and stand on, you know, the shoulders of, or for so many people. Like what you do, bro, is unbelievable. So for someone to stand up for you.
But you got to go do that on your own platform. ESPN lost people like myself. When they went with this woke, all these women in the broadcast, Ryan Clark making every play and everything down the race, and this is why, and it just became unwatchable. It became an unwatchable product.
I think that's the minimum anyone can do. But so also, I want to put this to bed because a lot of people have been having their takes about Stephen A. And you mentioned Stephen A. Is there anything Stephen A. could have done to make this go away?
No. Stephen A., with all of his power, with all of his influence, is not a true decision maker at ESPN. That's not his.
So then Stephen A. has no power or influence. With all his power, with all his influence, Stephen A. is not a decision maker. So how does he have power and influence? Or maybe we don't understand what power and influence really is. I think that was a really stupid statement. Let's see it again.
With all of his power, with all of his influence, is not a true decision maker at ESPN. That's not his job title, right? That's not in the repertoire of what he's asked to do. And we get it so many times, right? And I get it all the time. Why do you ride for him so much? Like, why don't you come for him when he says these things? And I said it on the show. I call him. I text him. I tell him I think he's doing too much. And I have the conversations with him all the time. But when this company was treating me in a way that, at least in my opinion, was unfair as it pertains to what I'd accomplished.
They gave him $2 million. He was making $2 million. How did they treat him unfairly? I really think he thought he could fleece them for at least half of what Stephen A is getting. If he's running around touting himself as the best analyst in the world, yeah, he's probably became hard to work with. I don't know, never worked with the guy, but just listening to him here, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call bullshit.
First person to go, I want you. If they're going to take you off of this or that, don't worry about it. You'll get your TV time on my show. Thursday and Friday will be Ryan Clark's days.
And he's saying Stephen A said he gonna get his time on my show. Those are not Stephen A's shows. And if one of those executives told Stephen A, no, don't do this, don't do that, that's how that goes.
That will never be forgotten by me. I will be forever grateful for that. That in a space that I was sort of being told, at least being who you are is going to make you lose certain things because you aren't these people that we covet, these people that we're comfortable with, these people that we take pictures with and put our arms around and show the world that we support them. I'll do that for you. And the loyalty he's shown me, the love he's shown me, the true hurt and pain in his voice when he called me around 4 o'clock Central Time on Monday, I will never forget that. We are forever, forever friends.
You talking about 4 Central on Monday. What happened on Monday? Because you got 5 minute shifts. Get fired halfway through that job.
Hey, Chad, crazy, right? Hey,
where'd the other box go?
Hey, see, Smokey was trying to build club houses. You know what I'm saying? He was still in boxes.
He was still in boxes.
Hey, my box disappeared. You know?
So this is genuine. Now I'm gonna tell you what's weird to me, because he's coming on as a guest today, a guest on the Pivot Podcast. But as you see there, he has on the Pivot Podcast shirt, and
Hey, they was like,
and he doesn't. He's just got on a black tee from the gas station, and Fred Taylor's got on about the same thing. It's kind of weird, but anyway.
yeah. So let me put.
So we go from that extreme laughter right there, and here comes the performative side of it, or at least what I consider to be the performative side of it.
To bed. I wasn't laid off. I was fired. Right? They're using layoffs as a cover and a camouflage.
They're using who is there as a cover and a camouflage.
They already intended on doing, but there was no cause for it. Right? So because there was no cause for it, you couldn't just.
There was no cause for it.
Fire me, so you had to wait to the layoff so you could camouflage it and veil it, right? But here's the other thing. If I was laid off, like everybody else, they came out on Tuesday. Mine came out on Friday. I get the call. I get a text from our showrunner that tells me to call my boss. I call my boss in the break, tells me they're letting me go. He said this is a very awkward call. This is a hard call. I could hear how hard it was for him. And if anybody was going to call me that was anywhere on the executive level, whether low or high, he's the person I wanted to, the way he's fought for me and rode for me. And he said, our friends, jokingly, at Outkick had the story, and we're going to leak it. Let me tell you why I know I was fired. Because during the season, after some of the Kyron Lacey news broke, there were people on our network along with me that said something about it. Both of those people apologized, as did I. I didn't want to.
Key. Thank you for saying it for me, Ryan. They had Ryan apologizing a lot. And you got to understand, he didn't want to. So, yeah, no, you're going to go out there and you're going to apologize. Because when you're speaking on their platform, you're not speaking for yourself. You're speaking as a representative of that company. And this entitled, bug-eyed mind state is weird.
Right, I was told I couldn't come to work if I didn't. And at that point, I said, well, I can't come to work tomorrow because I don't believe I did anything wrong. Some conversations happened and we got to that.
All right. Again, these are the kinds of things that got him out of the door. Okay. And it's so slick what he's doing. He's saying he don't know why he got fired. You were about to get the company sued.
point. And Outkick wrote an article about all the people that apologized. Two very prominent faces.
Nah, Outkick is the bad guy. Outkick wrote the article about something you did, but Outkick is the bad outfit
At ESPN. And they praised them for who they were and how they brought this thing back around. And they bashed me, talked about how negative I was, and spoke about me in such a nasty way. And I sent an email at that time to Burt Magnus and Dave Roberts, who were working, because we were on an email talking about how we were going to handle it. And I was very poignant in saying, you have to watch who you listen to about me. There's certain people who want to paint me as a certain thing, certain people who want to devalue my voice, certain people who, no matter what I do, with all the great I've done, they've never mentioned that. But in this case, there are three people who are very important to this network, who all did the same thing, who all responded in the same way, and only one of us was vilified, and only one of us was a black man. And so
it's racism now. All right, we're building to the dramatic part of this, whatever you want to call this.
how poignant, how purposeful is it to make sure that that's the exact same publication that gets the story that I'm going to be fired? Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to praise ESPN. They're going to pump ESPN up for getting rid of the person who stands up for the community. And they're going to say that these are all the reasons why I didn't belong on TV in the first place. So let's garner as much positive publicity as we can early before all of these people that you've seen come out on my behalf and say,
So you're saying that they set you up, Ryan?
I was the best in the world at the job and I deserved better. One, I didn't deserve to be laid off or fired. It ain't about money. Two, I didn't deserve to be handled that way. So let's get ahead of it. And they were going to get ahead of it.
Boss, I picked all this cotton for you. I got the watermelon crop going this year. I got the corn. We got a bunch of hogs this year. You can't fire me now. You can't run me off, boss.
By leaking it to someone who they know hated me.
I would say, bro, how could this be that thought out when they just asked you if we could all, as a crew, come on first take in August? That don't make no sense. When I saw it and how they did it and how outspoken you are about the community and how, like, you're talking. Some people don't agree with your stances and don't like that you were...
The community, what community are they talking about, guys? Why are they being so vague? This guy looks like he's half white.
Open on their platforms. To me, it seemed like it was almost like buck breaking.
Slave return.
God damn, I know this half white guy just didn't say buck breaking. And this guy says, slavery term. Slavery term. This is why they fired Ryan.
You know, where you're the outspoken one, you're alpha. Let's embarrass him so everybody else gets in line. So nobody else talks crazy to us anymore, or goes through emails or whatever. Like, no, let's teach him a lesson. Let's embarrass him on national TV.
No, let's let these niggas come on our channel and just do what they want to do. Instead of them niggas formulating their own channel, formulating their own platform, let's let them come on and talk as crazy as they want to talk. This motherfucker ain't crazy.
So that they all line up.
Yeah, I think that could be part of it.
He thought, but yeah, that could be part of it. They was paying you $2 million, nigga. The fuck is you talking about that could be part of it?
You know, like I also know that this is a private.
The fact that these motherfuckers compare themselves to slaves is disgusting. It's disgusting. Nigga, if you was a slave, they would have hung your motherfucking ass as soon as you had that baby with that motherfucking white woman.
Company, they get to make their decisions based on what they want to make them on what they want to do. What I do know is they didn't take a vote. This wasn't about the majority, right? This wasn't about the people I work with day to day.
All right, listen to this contradiction. This boy here full of shit. Ryan is full of shit. Listen.
Like I also know that this is a private company. They get to make their decisions based on what they want to make them on.
Okay, period. In this fucking sentence, that's it. It's a private company. They get to make their decisions based on what they want to make them on. Period. End of fucking sentence. Why is there anything else said after this point? It's the bullshit. Now listen to this fuckery he getting ready to come up with now.
On what they want to do. What I do know is they didn't take a vote.
They didn't take a vote, you stupid motherfucker, because just like you just said, it's a private company. They do what they want to do.
This wasn't about the majority, right? This wasn't about the people I work with day to day, because my phone don't say that.
Your phone is not the damn executives. And the people that you work with, you basically got them motherfuckers hostage there, bro. Because if they say something to you slick, you coming out on TV painting them as a racist. That shit is up, bruh. Ruckus done told y'all niggas, man, don't trust them new niggas over there.
Production people who ain't worked with me in 5-6 years. Thank you for how you treated me. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for your professionalism. Thank you for showing up constantly. You know, Monday night. Thank you for always. If we didn't have,
I was a good slave, boss. I made the other slaves laugh. I treated the other slaves nice. Why is you getting rid of me, boss? It's because you was a racist, boss, but I want to work for you. I wants to work for you, the racist, boss.
talent on a meeting, you were always there. You were always.
You got to have a buck to break a buck. This ain't no buck right here. He probably used to be a buck.
Time. You were always building things for the other people on that set. Thank you. And so when the people you work with cry for you,
They full of shit too, you stupid motherfucker.
and that means the world to me. When I get the messages of like the fact that I supported you, the fact that I was there for you, it means the world to
That was the cue for, all right, fellas, we get ready to cry this bitch up. All right. We get ready to try to get us an Emmy for the podcast right now. Okay. We get ready to cry it up. Let's go.
like it gave you the legs to stand up and be who you were on TV. Like that matters. This was a dictatorship. A person or a group.
Motherfucker, you just said that this is a private company. Now you're saying that they're a dictatorship. That's what a private company is, you piece of shit. This is that entitled. They didn't want you. They don't want your black ass, nigga.
Persons, very small group. They didn't poll the majority.
Yeah.
They didn't ask that
The majority is not the bosses, you jackass. Some stupid ass.
question. Because you asked that question, now you got to say, even though you told me just how important he was, I don't care. I don't care. I know how important you think he is, and you work with him every day. I don't care how important you think he is. I don't.
If he's so good, tell him to go build his own shit. Other than that, get this nigga out of here.
Like him. People like me don't like him. They keep calling my phone.
What do you mean people like me don't like him? What does that mean? White people? Jewish people? Asian people? Korean people? Ukrainian people? Chinese people? I bet you won't say what kind of people you talking about with your bitch ass.
I don't want my phone to ring no more. Right? There's other things I'll defend. I'll defend talking about another executive. I'll defend that. I'll defend sabotage. I'll defend getting sued.
He's snitching now. You defend getting sued. You're not getting sued, asshole. The company's getting sued. This dude is a fucking idiot.
I'll defend all those things. What I'm not going to defend Is you standing up for Angel Reese and everybody being mad about the way you did it? Or about what you said about, I'm not going to defend that? No. I'm not going to defend you standing on 10 toes for them all the time. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take those calls.
So you got fired for defending black people.
And that was the decision that was made. And I believe that has a large role in why it was made.
Bro, we know how much you
Okay, we know what?
love what you do and how hard you work and how passionate you are. And we've seen numerous occasions where we've had opportunities on this show to make X amount of money, and you help us understand that it's not about the money. It's about the quality of the work that we have to put out and the lives it's going to touch. So we agree with you. It's not about the money. It's never been about that. It's about your job and simply what you love to do. But when you text me, like all the other people you spoke about, I said, man, this man lying. April Fool's, it ain't even April. I didn't believe him, but I didn't want to respond that way because it caught me off guard. And I was like, ain't no fucking way these people are that stupid to do one of their best, but people like that. And I ain't saying that because we rock, but I just know what it is. But even then, you know, I started searching the internet and trying to.
The fucking nerve of these people to fire somebody from their fucking company that they own. That's why it's hard to talk to a lot of these niggas, because they just the fucking be contradictory, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's crazy.
Figure out, like many people might be, like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, is this a Netflix doc situation? Like, what's really going on? Yeah. And we've been hearing reports about, you know, the disagreement.
The nigga got fired. The fuck?
With Peter, right? Yeah. They're trying to pit you and Pat against each other. And so many other things people are trying to stir up and figure out what's going on. Like Chan said, like they're looking or waiting for a scandal, right? Yeah. But it's simpler than that.
Oh yeah, it's no scandal. Let me be very clear. I love Pat McAfee.
It's no scandal, and they just went through this whole skit about buck breaking and this whole thing or whatever. He said he loved Pat McAfee. Then why does your face look like that?
I think what Pat McAfee set out to do really put in place a blueprint for a lot of us. Like, can we do it and be accepted or received at that level, at that amount of money? Probably not. He's an anomaly.
Why? Because he white? This nigga head full of shit. This nigga full of shit.
In that way. But I respect and admire what he's built so much. Right. Peter Schrager, like me and Peter don't have an issue, right? I would think if you ask him.
I bet you what Pat McAfee didn't do was try to change, you know, for the executives.
No, obviously after what went on with us, there's been nobody that's nicer to him. And I do want to address that as well. Going into last season, that was when I met with the executive and say, hey, look, I can only see one reason why you'll have a problem with me, because it's not my work. And I get my schedule. I'm supposed to work Thursday, Friday on Get Up and First Take. I fly in on Wednesday night. That's what my schedule says. So I fly in on Wednesday night. I never get an email.
Imagine that, man. Going in the meeting and you telling somebody, I know why you got a problem with me. You got to be some kind of asshole to even take that meeting, to even.
I never get a text message. Normally you get that about the production meeting. I don't get that. So I wake up in the morning and I was like, well, you know, I'm not working. I'm texting. Hey, am I off of it? And I cut the TV on, and Taylor and Will are on, which, like, I'm happy for them. Them boys worked hard to get that opportunity, right? Go do your thing. But I was upset because, wait, you can't call me and tell me that the schedule's changed? I don't deserve the respect of believing that this is my schedule?
He deserves all of this respect. He deserves all of this thing. They're giving you $2 million. And they still not respecting you. You still want more respect. Ryan Clark is the type of nigga that makes it bad for other motherfuckers. Ryan Clark is the type of motherfucker that make a motherfucker hesitant about trying another motherfucker. Just listening to him talk. If I'm listening to somebody else talk to replace him, or, you know, if I hear any of that shit that he's talking, Nah, the public is okay with saying Ryan Clark kick rocks. And that's what Ryan Clark didn't realize or doesn't want to accept.
And along with some other people, we built Get Up. That junk was dying. Your original idea didn't work.
He said they built it. It was dying. Did you revitalize it or did you build it?
So it was Dan, and it was Marcus, and it was Culture Wednesday with me and Dominique. That's why that show lasted to be what it is that you turned it into now. And the people who I built that with, y'all just couldn't call me and just tell me, RC, we made another decision. And I asked, man, and another thing I'm mad at myself, I begged and begged to be back on that show because it meant so much to me that we built it and to be on it. And he just kept telling me, people aren't doing both shows. Dan's doing both shows all the time.
Yeah.
Damian Woody's doing both shows all the time. Peter.
Maybe they just don't like your ass. But you're going to force yourself on people. They don't want to hear the shit, but you're going to force yourself on them anyway, right?
Is doing both shows all the time. And so I'm already feeling something. And you go into that Friday, and Greedy had said, and Peter had exchanged a couple of times that neither one of them ever played. And we're talking about CeeDee Lamb. And I tried to be very thoughtful in the way I approached it because I wasn't trying to say you don't have an opinion because you didn't play. I was trying to say you have a different opinion because you didn't play. And maybe I didn't get that across in the right way, right?
No, you didn't.
I can accept that. But then he raises his voice at me. He's like, don't belittle me and this and this. And in the moment, I'm like, I'm on TV. I'm not going to have that back and forth.
Again, there's the contradiction in this man in real time. He can accept that. So if you can accept that you didn't deliver it in the right way, then you can accept the fact that this person is upset because you delivered it in the way you delivered. I mean, listen to that, and then we're going to get to the crying part, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. This dude is the poster child for I can contradict myself in goddamn 5 seconds.
Feeling something. And you go into that Friday, and Greedy had said, and Peter had exchanged a couple of times that neither one of them ever played. And we're talking about CeeDee Lamb. And I tried to be very thoughtful in the way I approached it because I wasn't trying to say you don't have an opinion because you didn't play. I was trying to say you have a different opinion because you didn't play. And maybe I didn't get that across in the right way, right? I can accept that. But then he raises his voice.
He says he can accept that, but then he raises his voice. If you can accept the fact that you just insulted this man on the air, he's a fucking man. Yes, he may raise his voice, not in a way that's supposed to be hurtful to your bitch ass.
At me, he's like, don't belittle me and this and this. And in the moment, I'm like, I'm on TV. I'm not going to have that back and forth.
Okay, again, there you go. If you had truly accepted the fact that you offended that man, you would not have been offended by his response. You wouldn't have met his response with this. In the moment, I'm on TV and I'm Ryan Clark. I'm the best football analyst in the world, so I can't look bad.
Let me be calm. Let me de-escalate this. And let me truly explain what I mean. That the in-helmet perspective is different than the out-of-helmet perspective. And so we get in the break, man, and I walk off, right? Because I'm upset because I'm knowing what's going to happen.
All right, so you walk off. You didn't go to the man and try to de-escalate. You said you tried to de-escalate it, but then you walk off at the break. Ryan Clark is the goddamn picture of a damn, he talks with a damn forked tongue.
Because he said I belittled him and he raised his voice at me. And he's like celebrating the segment. Like it's a great segment. But I'm already knowing the person who loves you don't love me, and they make decisions here, and we just had that happen. And while he's celebrating, I'm just telling him, like, man, like, don't effing disrespect me like that. Because I'm knowing what's going to happen. Now, at this point, I'm standing over here, right? I've got.
All right. God damn. All of this happened, and he said he walks off? Ryan Clark is a fucking liar. He said he walked off.
On my chair, which is 2 away from him. I'm standing over there. And obviously they recorded and they showed me the video. And I'm talking to people who've been there for 12 years, man. And they like, we thought you were going to get aggressive. What? The person you've been knowing all this time who never did anything, who's never had an altercation here, was going to get.
Because you act like a petulant fucking child walking off and doing all this shit after you created the situation. That's why this nigga's on TV crying.
Aggressive from over there. So now you're trying to paint this angry black man trope of me that you know is not true, but I'm starting to feel the narrative. I feel what you're doing. You get me on the phone and people are telling me you got to work better with people. Work better with who? Everybody I work with loves me. Like real talk. Everybody out.
But then you just described a situation, a tense situation with people that you work with. Crazy.
Work with, they F with me the long way. Like, I ain't the best teammate. Hell, Jason Kelsey called me just to tell me that.
Wow.
And so I was just seeing the narrative that was being pushed and seeing the way it was going. And then even that, much like what happened with Outkick with my firing, they leaked that video. And when they showing me this video, it's the video from the control room. So if that's gonna get released, that's somebody that works for us.
Yeah.
Right, you've been here 12 years. You have
Dumbass, that's how the fuck leaks happen. It ain't gonna be leaked from somebody that, okay, well, I'm gonna leak some shit from ESPN. Ryan Clark is a disingenuous person, man.
this incident, I want people to know that about you. I'm getting calls. We got the video. The video's been leaked. We're gonna show this. And honestly, I was trying to keep my job at the time. I should have told him, show it. Show him that he celebrated. Show him that I walked away. Show him that I was a 46-year-old man that said the F word from 15 feet away from somebody. But me and Peter talked.
Yeah.
Me and Peter fixed that. Me and Peter had the conversation. Me and Peter moved on from it, right? And what I wanted to do from him from that point on, because I heard what he said, I never wanted to make him feel that way, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So anything he wanted to do on TV, any point he made, any conversation he wanted to have, I was gonna have it with him. I was gonna support him. I was gonna be a good teammate, because that's what I did for everybody else. And like, that was unfortunate, but that's.
But in that moment, he did it all the time. He did it for everybody. But in the moment that he's describing, he didn't do it. Ryan Clark is a skillful, lying piece of shit.
Not why I'm fired.
You're a stand-up guy. You've always preached accountability. Looking back over your
He's not a stand-up guy, Fred. Stop that bullshit.
11 years at ESPN?
12.
11, 12. Is there anything you would do differently, or do you leave knowing that you were fully yourself? Or, you know, what are your thoughts, man?
It's a good question. It depends on when you ask me. You know? Like, you ask me, like, when I see people in public, like OGs and like aunties and stuff, and they tell
Like OGs, like aunties and stuff.
me they proud of me, and they proud of like,
This nigga crazy. This nigga is full of shit. He's already told y'all earlier in this damn segment, not in this segment, but in this podcast, that he tried to sell out.
they proud of like the way I represent the community. Yeah.
What community are we talking about? The Jewish community? The white community?
I wouldn't change anything. Because that means the world to me. You know, or like, when I go home,
Oh shit.
and this kid, you know, from the West Bank,
From the West Bank? You talking about?
is like so accepted in New Orleans now. Like, I wouldn't change that.
I mean, if you're talking about a kid from the West Bank, like from Palestine, jackass, that's why you don't have a job now, you idiot. If that's what you're talking about.
Never. You know, like, all I ever wanted to do was be accepted. You know, and want it. So yeah, like that, I wouldn't change. You know, if you asked me, probably the first like Monday.
You said you was changing for them. You tried it.
Of football, when all my friends get to do something like we did, like super special together, yeah, I'd probably change it. You know, I'd probably work harder to like be who they wanted me to be, or like build relationships with like bosses.
You work harder to be who they wanted you to be. all them white folks, all them Jewish folks wanted you to do was get on there and talk football. Just move away from this other shit that you're talking about, because you know it's bullshit. That's why you sitting up there crying, because you played yourself. Crying, Ryan.
Or executives, you know, because like it's just a relationship game. It's like I just see these people on TV who like aren't better than me, but I know I've never been at the tables they've been accepted at. So yeah, you know, there's some things I think I would do differently because I feel like I let them win. You know, I feel like there's a group of people, a faction of individuals who wanted to like devalue.
A faction of individuals. Who are these individuals, man? If these motherfuckers trying to devalue you, crying Ryan, you should be telling us who they are. I bet you won't say the motherfucker's name.
My voice, who wanted to take away my platform. I feel like I let them win. You know,
Who wanted to take away your platform? Motherfucker, you work for ESPN.
my platform. I feel like I let them win. You know, but then there's the other side of it of like my platform isn't as big anyway, or it's not as impactful anyway. If I don't do those things. If I'm not that person, if I'm not authentically me.
If I'm not out here jumping around like a damn fool while I'm picking these crackers cotton, you know, and they telling me, look, stop jumping around acting stupid, just pick the damn cotton. You're a good cotton picking ass nigga. Stop with all the jumping around acting fool and just pick the damn cotton. You'll be okay.
Right. And it's not even something I can prove that if I was different, they wouldn't have fired me. I can't prove that.
Tough.
Right? So if I can't prove that, why? I would have hated to be fired being something I wasn't. Oh my gosh, that'd be the worst. Young man, like my kids, like they love me. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like I let them down.
Never.
You know, like regardless of how much like money I was able to save and all the opportunities I was given, that's why I'm so focused on like the other people who lost their job. It's like this helps us. Right? My kids get to live a certain way. I get to take care of my parents. I get to help.
See, that's the positive part right there, crying Ryan. Focus on that right there, man. Hopefully you stack the money that you know what I mean, over the years and
My brothers and my brother, my nieces and my nephews and so many people, because like I'm in a place to where I can have excess because of what I can do so good. And to have that taken away, you know, for whatever it is, if I could have been different in some ways, probably, you asked me on the right day, yeah, I would say I have some regrets.
Sacrifice ain't cheap, man.
I know.
No, it's not, man. And I don't know if that was a case of sacrifice or just a case of you just overstayed your welcome on them white folks, on them Jewish folks platform, talking that crazy shit. They've been saying it for the longest. You go woke, you go broke. Anyway, that's what I thought about what we were watching in real time with these high paid Negroes who claim to be so depressed and so stressed out, like Channing Frye said, buck breaking. He don't know what the fuck that is no more than I do, and I definitely don't know what the hell it is. Okay, but that's what it is. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, hit that subscription button. It's important.